These newspapers were all published on the same day after the Labour Party released their election manifesto of either 2017 or 2019. So The Guardian, it sticks more to the facts, says Corbyn unveils Labour's most radical manifesto for decades, because what the Daily Mirror says is, on your side. This man is fighting for you, he's on your side, he's going to help you out. The Daily Express and the Daily Mail, however, they take the manifesto unveiling and they turn it into a threat. The Daily Express says the manifesto is an £80 billion raid on your wallets. The Daily Mail goes even further. They say that the manifesto is Corbyn's £83 billion tax robbery. All of these are very obvious reflections of a strong editorial slant. For magazines like The Economist, The Atlantic, and even The Spectator, they do have some very intelligent people who have spent years studying their topics and know what they talk about, and they're able to give you deeper information to help you understand the topic a lot more, and also to help you to see these events not just as random moments in time, but as part of a larger, more deep picture. They're especially good if you want to learn more about someone's character, or if you want to know more about people's feelings on a matter. When you get to people's feelings on a matter, though, is when it starts to get a little bit away from just the strict facts of the matter. So, earlier, 2 lessons ago, we looked at a media bias chart so that you can see these different English language news outlets, what sort of information they provide, and where they stand politically or philosophically. So at the top, we have outlets like AP, AFP, Bloomberg, Reuters, BBC, NPR. They fit in the green box, which is news. Mostly just news and events as they happen. And if you want to find the broader context, and if you want deeper analysis, if you want the word and the thought of the day from the industry expert, then you go into the yellow box. But when you get to the yellow box, which is interpretations of the news or commentary, this is where you start to get more divergences. This is where you start to get into differences of opinion and differences of coverage based on whatever the author's experience or, dare I say it, biases may be. And this is where you find outlets like The Atlantic or The Economist. When you go further down, though, you get into the orange box, which this website says are unfair interpretations of the news. And then when you get into red, then you get news which often veers into straight-up falsehoods. And you can see also it tends to break these up further into original fact reporting. So up here it'd be simple breaking news and factoids, and then down here they add some more context, and further here is more context, and then they add too much, or say selective context. The point of this chart is to make clear that these outlets, even though they're going away from simply reporting the facts, they do play an important role, as long as their analysis in their commentary is rooted in fact and is fair. But as this chart implies, when you go out and search for these sources yourself, be careful what sources you choose. And this is where we get into the tricky topic of bias. So, some of my students have spoken about news bias with me before. And one thing that I like to do is I like to bring up this. So, these are 4 newspapers from the UK. Anyone who's been to the UK is probably familiar with all of them. So, on the far left, you have the Daily Mirror. The Daily Mirror is a newspaper which is more in support of the left-wing Labour Party or the Red Party in the UK. On the far right, you have The Guardian, which is more centre-left and still somewhat in support of the left-wing Labour Party. In the middle, you have the Daily Express and the Daily Mail. These newspapers are right-wing newspapers, which are more in support of the Conservative Party or the Blue Party. These newspapers were all published on the same day after the Labour Party released their election manifesto of either 2017 or 2019. So, the more pro-Labour Party, or some of The Guardian. So The Guardian gives it a little bit more of it sticks more to the facts. Says Corbyn unveils Labour's most radical manifesto for decades. So they're using a rather strong term like radical, but compared to everything else that's on here, this seems like the most strictly factual. Because what the Daily Mirror says is on your side. So look at the choice of words they use here. On your side is speaking directly to you. You, according to the Daily Mirror, are the people, the common people, the decent, good-hearted people of Britain. This man is fighting for you. He's on your side. He's going to help you out. And further down the bottom, you say, billionaire Tory donor bungs Boris £1 million, saying that Boris is being funded by billionaires. They're not on your side. Jeremy Corbyn's on your side. That's the manifesto, or that's the report from the Daily Mirror. The Daily Express and the Daily Mail, however, they take the manifesto unveiling and they turn it into a threat. The Daily Express says the manifesto is an £80 billion raid on your wallets. And look how your is underlined here. They're doing the same thing as they're doing over here, talking directly to the audience, but they're saying that he's not on your side, he's going to raid your wallets. A raid? That's when someone breaks down your door and takes all your stuff. That's a very violent word, raid. So what it really is Corbyn is planning to raise taxes. And if you don't like taxes, that's fine. But calling it a raid on your wallets, that's a bit poetic, shall we say. It's a bit strong, isn't it? The Daily Mail goes even further. They say that the manifesto is Corbyn's £83 billion tax robbery. So, what they're trying to say is that Corbyn is taking your money. He's stealing your money. That's what a robbery is. A robbery is not simply collecting more from taxes. It's taking money that they haven't earned and they're wrongfully doing so. And they even call it the Marxist Manifesto, trying to say that Jeremy Corbyn is a crazy lunatic leftist. He's in bed with Mao Zedong and Joseph Stalin. And look at the picture they've created here. He's rolling in money that he hasn't earned, etc. So all of these are very obvious reflections of a strong editorial slant.